No, it's just best.
Okay, so let's start with game number 1 then.
Well, not the most impressive opening, but frankly, somewhere around move 6 I realized that the way I played it, I now have a choice of taking only 5 and probably being worse, but at least there will be some things happening in the game.
You had this position more or less for Kremlin, right? Maybe he played something like d6 instead of castle.
I think he somehow misplayed it slightly, and I was in time to go knight a4 and collect the bishop. Yeah, and then here I don't think I can do that. So
Well,
my problem is I can take on c6 and play this kind of structure, but I played it more than once in my life, and I don't really like this at all better. Or I can castle and hope for d6, and then maybe I can go knight a4 and transpose to all those games. But after knight d4, I realized that either I can take, let's say, I can take on d4, I can play on bishop c4 here, and we will have an incredibly boring symmetrical game which will end in a draw, and nobody will have any joy out of it.
if you go up with it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point after move 14, really somehow the mouse but here if after rook g1 queen h3, the point is if I play f4, knight f3, rook g2 takes on e3 and knight g3.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of a problem.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem for me, and because of that, I simply have to give up on give the f3 pawn up, and well, the most I can hope for is what I got in the game, which is a well, seriously unpleasant endgame. But knight e4 is a very good move, and only here I realized that if I take on e3, white takes on c6, not on e3. Yeah, and because if I'm on time to first trade the bishops and then play c5, I will have an absolutely excellent position. But unfortunately, white takes on c6, and after knight takes c6, even rook takes d6 seems to work.
I thought so.
Yeah, it surprised me. It surprised me greatly at first because I thought, okay, this is just not fair. something will work after, let's say, queen e7, f takes e3. It looks as if white has a kind of an unstable position where, I don't know, I should be able to somehow shift the queen from b3 and play a 5, or, I don't know, play some kind of, I mean, e3 pawn looks kind of weak, and, I mean, as a Grunfeld player, you know, you feel you're doing very well here. I mean, just one pawn, come on, such great compensation. The more I thought about this, the more I realized that it's just a pawn down, and I can't really do very much here. It's not quite clear how I should react to this very direct approach. And this was worrying me quite a bit at this stage. But Peter Heine quickly played bishop g5, and I was happy for about 5 seconds. Because I thought queen c7, and so what? I was very, very optimistic about getting my pieces out. But in fact, bishop f6 is a very strong move, which I missed entirely when I was thinking about this position, because I thought, in general, trading these bishops should be in my favor.
No, sure, I have to act very quickly.
Yeah, because in general, I mean, it decreases the number of pieces on the board. If my knight ever comes to g4, as it finally happened in the game, I will be doing very well. But, and now bishop e8 is also.
Well, bishop e8, of course, I was considering as well.
Yeah, and now I was planning to go knight c4. An idea I was rather proud about. Planning to go knight e5, and if f4, I thought I can play queen a5. This was my master plan. But I'm not at all sure this actually works, and actually now thinking about it, after queen takes c4, knight takes c8, there is a rather unpleasant move, knight g7. Sort of forcing rook g8, and now rook e7, for instance. This might be actually game over pretty much. So maybe bishop e8, because if I don't play knight c4, I couldn't quite figure out what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, let's move on to the last game. switched over to d4.
Yeah, I thought I should try something. New. I didn't really like my position after the opening in game 4. Yeah, this is a reasonably harmless line, but I mean, chess is a draw, so. I didn't know very much, obviously. But,
I think G3 is sort of inexact, is what maybe knight B2 is a better move.
Yeah.
Because here I'm sort of, well, should be equalizing decently comfortably, but he actually managed to put quite some pressure.
after before knight c4, I became mildly optimistic for a second, but first of all, maybe bishop e4 is a bit more precise here than on the previous move.
That's next side to give you the c1 square.
Yeah, but it gives me maybe some other options. Maybe I'll play queen g1 here and try for c5, knight 6 check. But you have queen g5 here, as in the games. Maybe bishop e4 was more precise, but after bishop e7, bishop f4, black has to pay some attention. But what Peter Heine did is good enough to force a draw. Castles 96. It was possible to take on d4 here, which I thought was the most critical line from me.
No,
96. 96, take on d4 here. I have to take on e4, queen takes e4. And now I have many moves, but none of them were exactly completely satisfactory. I thought actually a logical continuation would be rook d1, queen e2, queen e2,
Queen takes e2.
knight g4. And now, after queen a6, I was mildly, for a while I was optimistic about knight c6, bishop c5, and here knight e5. And then I spotted bishop takes f2 and I became less optimistic about it. So, basically I was calculating lines like this and not getting very far, and I think c takes e4 is fine. So I thought, okay, bishop takes c5. And now after queen g5, black has to see rook a5, but it's not a very difficult move. But it's actually quite a pretty perpetual. Because it seems like rook d1 is just winning because of queen a1 here, but in fact, black just continues chasing. Yeah,
It's the only move, but
yeah, it's not rocket science, but it's a nice move to make still. So that was it.
Congratulations, Peter Svidler, with the victory of the first section.
Thank you.
4.5, 1.5. Thank you both players for some most entertaining games. Very exciting. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 8 again with a blitz match. Honoring Peter Larsen with his opening, 1p3 in all 10.
Yeah, I was considering, actually briefly considered playing in